Recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share. Recipe Share. Recipe Share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share.
Everyone, thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes in a featured category. Today's category is Secret Ingredient. I'm Elizabeth, and as usual, I'm joined today by Katie and Beth to tell us about their recipes. So Katie, take it away and tell us what you made.
All right, I will. But before I do, I just want to acknowledge how hard this category was for me. I know, Elizabeth, when we were getting ready to do this, you said it was difficult for you as well. It just seemed like such a cute, kitschy sort of category. And then it was like, wow, this is really hard. I tried a bunch of recipes before I finally landed on this one that I thought was good. So this recipe is for perfect egg salad. And it comes from the stayathomechef.com. And it's, first of all, I love egg salad. It's one of my favorite comfort foods. I eat it all the time because it's super simple to make and you don't need a lot of ingredients. You can use what you've got in your fridge. My mother-in-law has chickens, so it's a way that I use up the eggs that she gives me. So I love egg salad. I was excited to try this version. The little blurb of the recipe says, this perfect egg salad recipe will knock your socks off. It's the perfect balance of flavors and the secret ingredient. It makes all the difference. So it starts out with just your basic egg salad, very basic egg salad recipe, hard-boiled eggs, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard. This uses sweet pickle relish. I use dill pickle relish because I like it better. Then some minced dill, minced chives, and your secret ingredient here is horseradish. So that's not something that I have ever put in my egg salad, or I heard of that, but I love horseradish. So I thought, well, that sounds great. Let's give it a try. And it was really good. It definitely adds something to it. You can definitely taste it. It's got this tangy flavor to it, but it also at the same time sort of melds with everything else. So it really makes me wonder, if I didn't know what it was in there, if I could distinguish what is that flavor that's sort of extra in this egg salad. So I thought that was really cool. I served this up the way that I normally serve egg salad. I will show you a picture, just on a piece of toasted bread, in this case a bagel with some spinach, tomato, bacon. Top it with egg salad, open face. That's how I usually eat it. That's how I ate this. I really liked it. I usually add capers and celery to my egg salad. So I would put those probably back in, and then I think I will add a little dollop of horseradish to my egg salad from now on. It's pretty neat idea.
That is cool, Katie. That's a good secret ingredient. I was excited to hear what yours was going to be because I like egg salad a lot as well. And often I'll add a little bit of cayenne pepper just to give it a little bit of kick. But I feel like horseradish might kind of serve that same purpose, just that little extra, I know it's not spice, but it, like you said, tang that just I don't know, gives it a little kick.
It's like a little bite. I was just thinking though, when you said egg salad, I was running through my brain, what would, and I did land on horseradish myself, but part of the Passover Seder is, we didn't do the full thing this year, but anyway, it's always having a hard-boiled egg, and then also horseradish sauce. Horseradish is on the table for the Seder, and so I could totally see that combination for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you already have it right on the sort of same platter area.
Yep.
The only time I ever use horseradish is when I eat steak, and I don't eat steak very often. So it was definitely an unusual one for me, but that's cool that you recognize that flavor combination.
Yeah, very cool.
Ah. All right, Beth, tell us about your secret ingredient.
All right, well, I also had a hard time coming up with something. I told you guys that I had tried to start with an ingredient and see what I could make. So I'll let you know that this was, and this isn't what I made, but what I was attempting to make was using pomegranate molasses. And I kept adding it to things like, oh, I'm going to try rice pudding with pomegranate molasses. And, it was finally like, let's just pick something else because while it's a cool thing to have on hand. And I'd seen it a lot in Middle Eastern cookbooks. Let's move on now. So what I went to was I riffed on a meatball recipe that my mom would make back in the 70s. And I actually just called her to get her exact recipe. And she would just take ground beef and ginger snaps and mix the ginger snaps into the ground beef. So and then form them, make them meatballs. And then her way of serving it was for like a cocktail party. They would sit in a like a gravy of a jar of grape jelly and a bottle of open pit barbecue sauce, because at the time there weren't that many barbecue sauces either, so I think that's why it was always that one. So that was the meatballs. So what I did though was I decided I'm going to make a meatloaf and use the ginger snaps in the meatloaf. So I pretty much made the meatloaf the way I would have, except adding the ginger snaps. And in this case, I did add some scallions. And then I did use a little grape jelly for the glaze. I used grape jelly and ketchup like I normally do, and a little dry mustard. So I baked the loaf, drained the fat periodically, and then glazed it with this grape jelly / ketchup. And I have a picture here. It was good. One mistake I made though was I couldn't remember if I thought I needed to soften the ginger snaps. So I let them soak a little while, but I didn't need to do that because then they turn, the point of it is you want to soak up some of the moisture. And so I added too much moisture. So, and again, just having talked to my mom, it's like, nope, never did anything else except meat, not even salt, not an egg. I tend to add a beaten egg to mine. So anyway, that's what I did. Ginger snap meatloaf.
So did you, okay, so I'm picturing when I make meatballs, I sometimes add breadcrumbs. I don't know if you do that. Like, do you think that would substitute for
Yes.
them?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what it does. Yep.
And can you taste the ginger of the ginger snap? Like, does the flavor come out rather than a breadcrumb?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's a little,
Really cool.
just a little bit different. Yep. It was, and I think I would like to try making the meatballs too, like as a appetizer. Excuse me, just 'cause I haven't had it in so long, but yeah, that's what we did. And I was also curious, so I just checked online this morning just to see if what's out there, and there's a lot of recipes for sauerbraten, German meatballs using ginger snaps. So that's probably where it originated from, I think, back in the day. So anyway, Elizabeth, what did you make with your secret ingredient?
Sure. So like the two of you, I really struggled with this. What kept coming to mind is prunes, because my mom used to make a chocolate cake with prunes. But frankly, I just didn't want to make that. So I was looking up, I literally was Googling like secret ingredient recipes. And I saw some ideas. There were a lot of cookies that involved mashed potatoes, which was weird to me. But as you know, I'm not a big baker, so it just doesn't, and I don't like to make things for this that we're not going to eat, because it's a waste. So I listen to a ton of food podcasts, and I have been hearing a ton in the past year about how amazing fish sauce is. And I know that most Asian cultures use fish sauce a ton. I have not used it extensively in my cooking. I think part of it is just because the phrase fish sauce sounds like gross to me, even though I like fish. It's just like fish sauce doesn't sound good. But I have been hearing how amazing it is. And like people put it in everything and they just say like it adds this like subtle umami flavor. So I decided to get some and I did. And I wanted to try out some salad dressings with it because I love salads. We eat salads all the time. And I've heard that it can be really good in salad dressings. So I actually made 2 with the fish sauce. One was a really simple vinaigrette, basically, that just had all the usual stuff like red wine or apple cider vinegar, olive oil, a little bit of honey, salt, pepper, and then you were supposed to put in 2 tablespoons of this fish sauce. And they said the recipe, which came from kitchen without an E, said be careful because it can tip into like fishiness pretty quickly. So just like don't just check, like measure it out carefully. So the first time I did it, it did taste a little fishy. But then the second time, it actually was amazing. I did it on like a regular salad, just a lettuce, like cucumber, a carrot, red pepper, like nothing weird, nothing unusual. And it was really good. It did add some really interesting flavor that just made the whole thing a little bit more savory. So I liked it and I was happy I liked it because I have this jar of, or whatever we call it, thing of fish sauce now. I also made a lime brown sugar fish sauce recipe that I just wanted to try out. And that was recommended for more like Asian inspired dishes. Like it was supposed to go on a slaw. And it was also very good, but it did call for a little bit more fish sauce. So it did taste a little bit more of it, but I used it on a slaw and it was very good. I liked it. It was just 2 tablespoons brown sugar, some fish sauce. It's called for a neutral oil. So it called for avocado oil, but I didn't have that. So I just still used olive oil because I wasn't going to buy a whole thing of avocado oil. So let's see, brown sugar, fish sauce, neutral oil / olive oil, and lime juice. And that was good. Like I said, used it on the slaw. So I would make that again too, but I would probably use it on, I guess, just more Asian inspired recipe because it did taste like that more to me. I wouldn't put that on like a strawberry spinach salad. Yeah, so I did it. Fish sauce is my secret ingredient for the vinaigrette, and I'm excited to maybe serve that salad with that dressing this summer to friends because I had told my husband that it was in it, so he knew to kind of like look for it. But I'd be very interested if other people guessed what it was or kind of like liked the dressing better or thought it was particularly good. So yes, fish sauce vinaigrette is my secret ingredient dressing.
That's really cool. I love salad dressing. I'm so excited to try it, especially the first one, just like your basic salad dressing. We use fish sauce in my house, but mostly for cooking. So like in Asian dishes, we cook with it, but I guess I have heard of it being in like a Caesar dressing before, but not like a basic vinaigrette. So I'm super excited to try it and like taste that umami. And then your slaw dressing sounds amazing too. So, and I just bought a bunch of cabbage, so maybe I'll make them both. Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. We had for years, the same jar of fish sauce. I think we got rid of it and have new, but that would be a great idea for a salad dressing. Hadn't thought of it. It does add that, it's pretty salty, But yeah, very nice. That's kind of what you did then, kind of what I had been thinking of doing with the molasses. You took a thing.
Yeah. I just, it's just tough. I didn't want to like, it's like, I don't want mashed potato cookies, even though that is a cool concept.
I saw mashed potato candy a bit, like it's this candy that they make in Maine, and it's supposed to be like, taste like Mounds bar or something like that. I was this close to making it, but I just couldn't. Like, that sounds so weird.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, if we have no further comments, I want to thank everyone for watching Recipe Share. Be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes we talked about. Feel free to share your own in the comments. Join us next time when we will be celebrating casseroles. We're looking forward to seeing what you've been making, so thanks for sharing.
Recipe Share, Recipe Share, share a little recipe with Recipe Share.